Have you ever found yourself wondering why, despite the fact that you are doing so well in life, you having a great career, you progressing well in your academics, you have a great social life, somewhere, somehow, you still feel a little discontent or like something is missing? I found that despite the fact that I was making progress in my own career, I was close to so many family and friends, somewhere it always felt like I was still chasing the next thing and the thing after that and the thing after that. And despite every single thing that I was achieving, I still felt like there was something more to get. And it was around that time that I started getting deeply interested into the psychology of happiness and the science behind that. And one day I decided a few months ago to sit down and explore all these different kinds of concepts and belief systems and habits that could make you become a better person every single day and that could help you lead a more meaningful, happy life. Now, out of all these habits, there was one particular habit that really stood out. Something that I started doing that at the end changed my entire worldview, changed my whole way of looking at things all around my life. And it was such a simple habit that I felt it had to be something that I wanted to make a video about and that I wanted to share with you. And this one tiny habit is called gratitude. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, well, gratitude, we've all heard that. Be thankful for this and that, and it's always going to make things better. What's new about that? And to be honest, I completely agree with you. It isn't anything new. But there's a reason why it has stood this test of time as one of the most important things to psychological well-being. But what I really wanted to understand for this video is there actually a science behind why gratitude works so well and why gratitude has such a lasting positive effect on the brain? Because if we look at the field of positive psychology, gratitude is one of the cornerstones of their belief systems, and their philosophy rests on so many gratitude-driven tasks. So before we get into that, what is gratitude? Gratitude is the act of thinking and expressing every single aspect of your life that you are thankful for, whether that be your family, your workplace, something that a stranger said or did for you, even something as simple as being able to wake up and be healthy or having food in the fridge. It's just a perspective shift on focusing on the things in your life that you are really, truly thankful for and expressing that on a regular basis. So being a doctor and coming from a neurology background, I wanted to find out what it is about gratitude that changes in your brain. Is there something that actually does change in your brain when you become more grateful? Is a person who is grateful wired differently than somebody who's not grateful? And does that have a clue as to why some people naturally tend to be happier people versus other people who naturally tend to find ways to be unhappy? And it wasn't long before I started finding so many studies about how gratitude is linked to the surges in your brain of the neurochemicals dopamine and serotonin, which makes sense because dopamine is so deeply and intrinsically linked to the pleasure and reward pathways in your brain. And serotonin is almost termed the happy hormone because so many feelings of contentment and peace and tranquility is linked to a surge in serotonin in your body. But I wanted to dig a little deeper and see, is there a specific part of the brain that could be mapped to gratitude? Is there parts of the brain that seem to light up every time you feel a sense of thankfulness? And the answer is yeah, there really is a part of the brain that lights up or seems to light up more commonly in people who are naturally grateful. And so while digging a little deeper, I found two specific studies that I wanted to highlight in this video. One being a study that was done where they did functional MRIs on people who were feeling gratitude or feelings of gratefulness at a time when they were reading so many stories of different people and how they were feeling grateful, how they were feeling thankful. And they mapped out the specific parts of their brain that was being lit up. And what they found was that there were two particular areas in the brain that kept lighting up again and again. One being the anterior cingulate cortex and 2 being the medial frontal cortex. Now, the anterior cingulate cortex is deeply involved in your emotional processing and the memory of your emotional memories, and your medial frontal cortex is paramount to your sense of moral judgment and your ability to make complex decisions in ethical situations. And what they found was, by combining these two things, there seemed to be a pathway that exists where the people who were more emotionally mature and emotionally intelligent also tended to be the people who were more grateful. Now, there is a famous concept in neurology where neurons that fire together wire together. And what that means is that your brain is a complex set of circuitry, a complex set of wires, if you will, and it's constantly wiring and rewiring itself to suit the situations that you are in. And the interesting thing is that we ourselves can actually shape the way our brains are. The pathways in our brains are constantly changing according to our environment, according to our habits, according to our thought patterns. Think of it as a wide highway, and the fact that more people and more cars are able to fit on a wider highway versus a very narrow path. More things are going to go on the wider highway. Or think of a body of water running over mud. The more the body of water runs as a stream over a particular pathway, the deeper those pathways become. That's pretty much the same way our brain works. The parts of our brain that are exercised the most are the parts of our brain that are going to be easiest to access. Now, one such fascinating study is one where they took 300 participants, all of whom had said in some point of their life or at that point of the study were feeling quite depressed or anxious or stressed out, and they divided all 300 of these participants into 3 groups. Group A being a group that would receive counseling, plus they were told to write a gratitude journal, and in that gratitude journal they had to express and write letters to somebody who they felt grateful for in their life, and do that on a regular weekly basis. The second group was also undergoing counseling, but they were told to focus on all the intricacies of why they felt negative all the time. And the third group, well, they were just told to undergo counseling, but they wouldn't need to do anything extra. And once again, the group that was exercising the writing of gratitude journals and writing gratitude letters was the group that overall had a better sense of well-being. And what was more fascinating was that when they did scans on these people who exercised gratitude on a regular level, the same areas of the brain that seemed to be linked to gratitude, like the medial frontal cortex, kept lighting up, which started to suggest that perhaps your brain actually starts to rewire itself so that the more you practice gratitude, the easier it actually becomes. Now, I know all of these kinds of studies are not exact cause and effect studies, and gratitude on its own is something very difficult to pinpoint to one particular location on the brain. But maybe this much evidence, for now at least, is enough. It's a good starting point, and even though we don't know the exact circuitry as to how gratitude works on your brain and how it rewires your brain, there definitely are certain aspects of your brain that are closely correlated with feelings of thankfulness that are easier to access the more you are grateful. The biggest take-home message that I could take from these studies was that the more you practiced gratitude, the easier it became, and the easier it became, the happier you became over time. Because the key element for all these studies was that all these participants exercised gratitude on a regular basis, not just at one point in time. And because they continued to do that on a regular basis, they became happier and more fulfilled. And if it counts for anything, I can tell you that it really helped me. And I hope that this video in some tiny way might be that push you need to try out this gratitude exercise every single day, and maybe it would help you as well. Because if we are going to spend thousands of minutes every day just doing all the things that we need to do at work or wherever it is, why not spend at least 1 minute of that time thinking about the things that we are thankful for? Whether that's in relation to our loved ones, our family, our friends, whether that's in relation to our work or our passions, or something as simple as having food in the house. Whatever it is, why can't we all just spend at least 1 minute a day thinking about the things that we are grateful for? Maybe you could do it while you're brushing your teeth or making a cup of coffee. But I challenge you to spend that 1 minute while you are doing those things dwelling on the things that you are truly appreciative of, the things that you are so thankful for that you wish you could express it on a daily basis. And then I challenge you to take it a step further and maybe write that down and do that the next day and the next, until hopefully you'll have cultivated a habit of doing this every single day for a couple of months, maybe even a year. And I hope by the end of it, in the same way that it changed the way I saw the world, it changed the way I approached life, it could in some small way provide some extra bit of value to you as well. And I guess that's about it for today. I just wanted to make this video because it made such a big impact in my life, and I was fascinated by what it does to our brain, and I hope I could share something of value to you today. And if there's certain gratitude exercises that work for you and that you would love to share, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you like the video and want to see more of similar content where I dive into the neuroscience behind so many of the things that provide positive impacts in our life, do let me know by liking and commenting and sharing with those who want to become better every single day. But most importantly, take some time out today to think about the things that you are really, truly grateful for. Write them down, and I hope it will turn into a habit that will change your life. As always, stay safe, take care, and I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers.